like a lot of the other TSM games we've had. And on 100 Thieves side, it's just a run back of a bunch of champions we've already seen them on so far in this series.
You've got Gangplank, Zoe, and Xayah all together. That is an absolutely incredible amount of damage. And if this goes late, TSM will have the power to chunk through some health bars. Even on these big tanky boys like the Set and the Sejuani and this Nautilus, of course, these are going to be some really big targets to have to eat through. But there's so much firepower on both sides. There's a lot of engage potential on both sides. With Nautilus Sejuani on the side of 100 Thieves and Rakan Jarvan on the side of TSM. I've said it in a lot of games before, and I'm going to say it here again in this Game 5 decider of who goes on and who goes home. I love games where both sides have at least 2 champions with hard engage, because it means we're going to see some fights. Speaking of which, never mind. I cursed it.
And I just love Game 5s. Every movement, ward clear is just amplified. Single elimination at this point of the bracket as well for these teams, as they are in the lower bracket. The loser, the spring split's just over.
Yeah, it's done.
And it can be something as small as I pathed into the wrong brush, or I put that skill shot a little bit wide, or, you know, Ryoma didn't cleanse at the right time. Any of these moments can be completely split defining. So we know that 100 Thieves surged at the end of the spring split. They were 7-2 in the second round robin, 8-3 if you count tiebreakers to get up to that 3rd seed. Unlucky, C9 decided to pick them, which knocked them down into this set against TSM, where really they have proven a completely equal match so far. All of these games have been close or tense in some way. TSM, the whole Dardoch experiment, what it was kind of deemed at the start of the year, would this guy be able to stay positive throughout the whole year, or would the team go down a path of destruction later? Dardoch's looked largely good. TSM has been so up and down, and they have to be up for this game. It's their final chance to stay alive in this spring split. So I really just can't wait. And it looks like Dardoch has gone red into maybe an immediate gank bottom. So we're in for something.
Jarvan is so good at these level 2 ganks. Red into bottom lane. Biofrost looking to make the move, but an immediate flash out from Cody's son keeps him alive.
Whew, Cody was ready for that.
Yeah.
Holy. To be so free to burn your flash backwards, his spidey senses were tingling that something is up. The fact that Dardoch did that path and didn't gain anything actually means he's 2 camps behind Medos right now. Medos full cleared blue side and is looking to punish Broken Blade here. Walks through ward, but they see him.
Someday continuing to try to pressure forward here. Does find the face breaker stun. Looking for even more now. There goes your CC. Wombo combo and a right hook right to the jaw. It's first blood for 100 Thieves.
A whole series of Dardoch playing around top lane and someday being put on the back foot. In Game 5, Dardoch tries to throw the curveball by level 2 ganking bot with an extremely inefficient path. It doesn't work. And this time, it's Meteos who's able to land that first blood. Someday, still denied a lot of CS from that early push, picking some of it up now, but that's going to put him in a healthy spot for this laning phase.
Yeah, only 4 CS to his name. You can see that even though they got the first blood, which first blood plus assist is worth about 600 gold, they're only 300 up because of those CS leads. So Meteos is back on the top side of the map now, working his way into the brush there. I don't know if Broken Blade saw him. I don't believe he did. Question mark ping from Broken Blade there on the top side.
It would be really ambitious to try and full dive.
Yeah, there's no way you can dive
with flash up.
Yeah, there's no way you dive.
Yeah,
that's an aim all day long. But
yeah, Meteos just getting his counter jungle on.
Does mean that Someday feels safe being as extended as he is because Meteos is up here, and if Dardoch comes up top, they won't be aware on the side of TSM that Meteos is also just hanging out nearby. Someday having a much better time here in this lane after being able to go back, buy that second Dorian's item. You can see now he's got himself both the shield and the sword, as well as that refillable potion. And he can trade pretty aggressively there with Broken Blade. And as long as Broken Blade is also having to use the oranges to heal up a little bit, it means that much less Q spam, which Q spam with Grasp, really hard to deal with. Nice interrupt there. Meteos immediately using the Arctic Assault as he sees Dardoch coming in. It cancels Dardoch's combo and negates the knockup and makes it so Meteos can just walk out.
Yeah, Meteos does need to retreat, though, because Bjergsen consistently has push in this mid lane. And weirdly enough, the gank that Meteos did to kill Broken Blade, and then the return path he did again through TSM's jungle, gave ample time for Dardoch to catch up and even surpass Meteos in experience. He actually got level 4 after his first recall, came back, cleared up his Raptors, and now can go for this early Infernal Drake. So yes, the first blood was moved on to Someday, but it's been largely absorbed in terms of the overall game state. And now TSM is going to be dead and even gold, and likely is going to pick up this Infernal Drake as well.
Super early Infernal Drake. Very easy to grab there for Dardoch. As bottom side, Kame getting into a 2v2 here along with Biofrost. Cody Sun and Stunt on the back foot. They're just going to be forced to continue to hang back here. Don't want to step in front of all those feathers. Instead, just waiting to farm up this minion wave. Getting those things prepped and ready to go. Auto attacks onto the minions to make it so one tap will do them once the turret shot goes through. And Meteos is back in the top side again. Broken Blade, sensing something is up, will maintain distance. He's not going to set all the way underneath that turret again like he did last time just to make sure he can get as many Qs as possible. Instead, doesn't want to give those free kills over. Ryoma still on the back foot here in the mid lane. Nice bubble connect there. Ryoma's just having trouble dodging away from these when Bjergsen throws them. Meteos is here, but I don't know what that means. It probably means a whole lot of nothing, considering that Ryoma has no HP. So, yeah, Meteos will just sit here and absorb EXP.
Yeah, Meteos is here, which means he's there.
Yep.
That
means he's not somewhere else.
Nothing more to analyze about the situation. I do want to make one point in regards to TSM, and it bridges a little bit with the point you made earlier about liking teams bringing a lot of initiation.
Yeah.
I think part of the reason why TSM is 5-0 with Zyra Khan is because Biofrost gets to be the main initiator, and I think that's a role he's actually really, really good at. So in these other games we've seen where they're playing Biofrost Tahm Kench, that is not a champion that you can make snap engages on. Those are more macro Tahm Kench alt type engages, as Meteos fights Dardoch a little bit at the red buff.
That was super lucky for Meteos. He just started using the whip on his opponent. Okay, never mind. We're going to have a fight down here on the bottom side anyway. Stunt being dove now. Biofrost, he starts things off. He dodges away from the turret. He keeps himself alive, and he provides a kill to himself. Would like to have given it to his AD carry, but hey, at the end of the day, gold is gold. They'll take down Stunt and get themselves out.
Yeah, Heal Ignite burned. It's still good to get that type of aggression down to kind of assert a little bit of lane pressure. They did get the Ignite out of Stunt, but kind of more largely, TSM's big problems have been in late game, and I don't necessarily think that late game is as big of a problem when Biofrost is on Rakan because he acts so well as a primary initiator. The one game where TSM actually came from behind this split was, I think, an EG game when Biofrost was on Rakan, because he was able to find kind of pick after pick in the middle late game. So being able to fall back on that Zyra Khan in game 5 is actually, I think, really crucial for TSM as they try and stay alive in this spring split.
100 Thieves thinking about maybe making a move here on the top half. Stunt has rotated up towards this river. Bjergsen once again, man, he just gets the better of Ryoma time and time again. Bubbles and Paddle Stars both finding their way onto the enemy mid laner, and that's very well played from him. Now we'll see this 100 Thieves squad of Someday and Meteos be able to secure the Rift Herald for themselves. See where they want to decide to drop that one. It's still 5 plates everywhere across the map except for that bottom lane tier 1 of 100 Thieves. That one is only sitting on 4. Topside Scuttle Crab going to be taken out here, I would expect. Stunt and Cody Sun are working their way up top, but they are going to be spotted out there by a ward. You can see the back pings coming out. Bjergsen finds the Hextech GLP. Chaos Storms drop down. Sidestep from the Sleepy Trouble Bubble. Ryoma also going to walk away there from the Paddle Star, finding more trading opportunities there with the lasers. Damage going through. Opening up with a bullet time. Doesn't even need it. Meteos grabs the kill, and Broken Blade is down here for the second time this game. probably going to see Shelly sum it up here in the top side as well after they grab the first couple of plates. Remember, you want to take down the first couple of plates, then summon Shelly after. She gets greater value by attacking later plates because later plates have more armor and MR, increasing the value of true damage proportional to normal damage. This is how you want to take turrets down when you're doing this in your own games as well. Easy peasy, 1, 2, 3 should be plenty enough for them.
It's a bit of a race, actually. Bot lane is a one plate as well, and there's TSM gets first
They
turret.
got it. TSM having the free firing time with Kabe there in the bottom lane just barely managed to race 100 Thieves down.
Yeah, I think 100 actually dropped the plate too early, so just about 1 billion bulwark stacks were up on that top turret, since every plate that goes down while champions are in rage increases the armor and MR, and that has a cooldown, which kind of encourages you to take turrets on multiple different steps. And since the true damage didn't fully kill the turret, it meant that last sliver of health for the turret for 100 Thieves was probably around like 500 armor, whereas TSM had been chipping away on that bottom turret for some time and was able to get it. That relatively, minor in the grand scheme of the game, but is still going to be a bit of a gold injection for Kabe and Dardoch.
Yeah, TSM, 100 Thieves ended up summoning it right about as the second plate went down. Maybe if they would have waited until right when the third plate was about to crash, they could have succeeded in winning that race, but it is a small amount of gold. It's actually pretty much just the difference in gold between the teams right now, as remember, TSM did grab a very early first strike for themselves, and now the fight is breaking out. Cody Sun doesn't have the bullet time. That's going to be very important here as this fight continues. GP ulti coming down, Biofrost moving in from the side, Ryoma having to fall back. 100 Thieves are grouped up as 5 here in the river. It's going to be ultis already used. Bjergsen looking to find some more damage. TSM still here in the bottom side river brush of mid lane. 100 Thieves have moved over. They are looking to start the Ocean Drake themselves. There is no Rakan ulti. There is no Gangplank ulti. Someday wants to come in over from the side. It's going to be a smite fight for the Drake. Maybe not. Ryoma Guy going to be dived onto. Biofrost looking to find some damage as Kabe's grabbing the kill onto the enemy mid laner. Here comes Someday with the slam over the wall. The Cloud winds quicken, as that means we're going to see the Cloud soul. It's a 1-for-1 overall. Someday's going to be blocking up the damage there from Bjergsen. Now everybody's trying to walk out. Someday, the last man on the back end of the fight there, they'll all walk away. TSM comes out on top of the gold at the end of that fight, but it's 100 Thieves who get that second Drake.
And I think 100 Thieves will completely take that one. Really odd. So the original fight was started by Biofrost, who kind of flash ulted for not that much effect. And then normally you see like a smite steal in that situation where both junglers go for the smite and then one of them engages off the side. Dardoch just started fighting while Meteos was able to freely get an uncontested smite. And since the fight didn't swing wildly in TSM's favor, it ends up being completely worth for 100 Thieves. I mean, Someday now, 92 CS to Broken Blades 76, and the 2-0 set is just ready for success in the rest of this game. So, yeah, still a close game, but I think 100 Thieves is going to take that one.
The one thing I also want to point out here, the past few games, we've seen the Varus Tom Kinch lane beat Cody Sun and Stunt on the MF and the Nautilus in the bottom side of the 2v2. They end up being somewhere between 20 and 40 CS up. Kabe is 60 CS ahead with this Xayah Rakan duo, and that's actually an incredible amount of gold that they have up on their opponent. Dardoch taken very low, likely going to be taken down. Biofrost moves in to save him, but he might be in some trouble now too. Over the wall goes Meteos, setting the damage up, and Cody Sun. Who needs creeps when you've got champions? Now they're trying to collapse on the Kabe. He wants to grab some kind of a kill potentially down into Cody Sun. Instead, flashing forward with the root. He's got the auto attacks. He's got the kill. Good lord! This man's got some moves.
And just like that, the gold lead disappears.
That was clean as hell.
But it was amazing that Kabe was able to take down Cody Sun, because that was going to be Cody's window back into it. And oh man, somebody's go for
That was so well done by Kabe 1v4 to make sure he took somebody with him. I'm pretty sure Set has no ability to kill this Zoe 1v1 when the Zoe's at full HP.
Yeah.
So I'm still just going to go full fan mode over that play in the top side here for a second. That was awesome for Kabe.
It was awesome from Kabe, but it was bad for TSM, because if you think about the way this fight started, as you mentioned, yeah, that's an incredible bot difference so far in this game, 60 CS up. So you're not expecting the 100 Thieves team to loop around the way they did and kill Dardoch, who is having a pretty poor game 5 so far. They get the kill, they get the second kill, and here you're expecting them to clean up, and I think they're trying to give it to Cody Sun. Totally clean right there, though. Kabe pulling the Featherstorm through Cody, knowing he's burning the flash over the wall and salvaging the play. But overall, still net good for 100 Thieves.
100 Thieves were looking for the opportunity to fight there in the top side of the river. This game is being very action-packed now. We've got 9 kills in 14 minutes compared to the 2 kills in 20 that we had in the last game, and this is the kind of League of Legends I like to see. 100 gold separating the squads 15 minutes in. You can see Bjergsen showing up to that fight made sure that 100 Thieves weren't able to chase it any further. Looking at the items in inventories, Biofrost will not be going for a Gargoyle Stoneplate on the Rakan. Instead, you can see he's got the Glacial Shroud in inventory. Chain Vest on Stunts Nautilus means it is a Gargoyle for him, as Shelly is down to 4,000 HP, quickly losing patience. Eye is exposed. Dardoch tries to jump in, but the gravity well is down. Ryoma's going to be kept safe by that, and Bjergsen's coming into the back line, looking to find that damage onto Ryoma, looking to grab Dardoch on his way out if he can. Dardoch survives with a flash in from Stunt. Is going to make it so they're able to secure the kill onto the enemy jungler. Kabe now in the middle of everybody from 100 Thieves, and the fight has turned to tragedy for TSM. They will all be killed except for Broken Blade at the cost of Ryoma and Stunt.
Everyone who was actually fighting for TSM died in that fight because they opted in to a 4v5 at the mid-game Rift Herald. Kabe had such a huge lead, but when he's continually outnumbered in these fights, there's not much he can do. So TSM moved for this Rift Herald because Ryoma is pushed into the turret, and rather than going through the river, I think he completely catches TSM by surprise here. Ryoma actually gets the Victor flank, and TSM go all out for him, but notice how they have to kind of flash over or walk around that gravity field, and honestly, Victor nearly kills Dardoch by himself, which allows the Nautilus to flash in afterwards, and then this little cloud rift zone where everyone's moving super fast does mean that a champion like Set, in terms of relative move speed difference, is able to fight better because dashes are less important. This is 100 Thieves now. After Cody Sun was so far behind from the 2v2 loss, from the swap they did top for Rift Herald that didn't necessarily work out, is actually back in the game. And there is a immensely powerful front line now for 100 Thieves, with a soon-to-be Gargoyle Stone-plated Nautilus, a 3-0 Sejuani, and a 3-0 Set.
Yeah, what I was commenting on before that fight broke out, you can see Stunt working towards the stone plate. He's got all the pieces in inventory, just about to finish that one once he's got the combined cost, but I won't even have an opportunity to talk about it here yet again. Someday forced to flash over the wall as the TP comes in from Broken Blade, and TSM try to collapse there in that bottom side river. They won't get what they're looking for, and I'm just going to say it now because I'm not going to have another chance to. It's a Gargoyle Stoneplate coming out for Stunt. It's a Warmogs coming out for Meteos. Remember, if Sejuani completes the Warmogs and has it at level 11, I believe she needs an extra Ruby Crystal to get the passive. Dardoch's being caught out in the enemy jungle, does get away, gets the ultimate out of Stunt's Nautilus as well. Biofrost hanging out nearby just to make sure Dardoch's not in an excessive amount of trouble. Meteos is right here. Kabe is sectioned off from the rest of the team. Meteos still looking to find something. He interrupts Dardoch, but he does it a little bit early. However, a nice dredge line comes in from Stunt, who is away from the rest of the team. He's too far forward, so he doesn't have the follow-up he needs to continue chasing further.
And that skirmish was all well and good, but I'm just kind of wondering how Broken Blade's going to find relevancy in this game. He's an 0-2 GP. It seems like every time TSM is kind of outnumbered in the space that they are at, and 100 Thieves is able to walk around. Victor is scaling up more and more throughout this game and will eventually just be able to shred through any type of Jarvan initiation that gets brought at him from Dardoch. TSM is at a very weirdly dangerous point, and that's why I'm wondering who's going to step up on either team. Is this going to be the moment where Biofrost does find those clutch Rakan initiations that I talked up earlier on in the game, even though so far in this game his initiations have been a little lackluster? Or is this the moment where Ryoma kind of hits his peak and can continue to carry kind of like he did in Game 2 on that Orianna? In the meantime, 100 Thieves is going for this Rift Herald and hoping to find maybe another skirmish.
Shelly at 5K. Control wards from both sides in the pit means vision is available no matter who you are. Shelly down to 2,000.
Someday.
Jumping forward. Someday's now going to be tanking here on the front line. Dardog going in. Haymaker already used. Someday gets himself out there utilizing the ulti. Stunt down to 300 HP. Retreats from both sides as Kabe very, very low. With the 80 carry can't fight. Neither can the rest of the team really. However, because Stunt and Meteos were also severely injured, it means 100 Thieves were not able to complete their Rift Herald attempt, and with 1945 ticking by, Shelly is forced to go back to the Void from whence she came. Good night, sweet princess, and Baron shows up.
And everyone just kind of slowly backed away after that fight didn't necessarily work. At this point in the game now, I think we're more looking at item timings, so Kabe's going to want to finish his Infinity Edge. If he does that, he'll again be super threatening in these team fights. And it looks like Ryoma wants to finish Ludens. If kind of whoever finishes that first will look towards having strength to go towards that next Drake. Got a note, 100 Thieves already one Drake ahead of TSM. Cloud Soul very important, especially for someone like Set who needs to block at his opposition. And yeah, this is the game 5 you hope for. You have this series with up and down games with the salty run back in game 2, identical comps, both games going a different direction. We see game 4 where TSM really just steamrolls 100 Thieves by going all in with an early game comp. And now we have slightly more balanced compositions. We have the Zyra Khan, which TSM is 5-0 with so far this split. And it's a brawl. 400 gold difference, Cloud Drake up in 45 seconds. I can't wait.
Every fight is so much fun in games like these. At least for us spectators. For the players, it's probably super intense and nerve-wracking, and you're balancing on a knife's edge. But for us, this is a great time. Now, I said earlier that if Meteos hits Warmogs at level 11 with all the proper runes and masteries, he should still need an extra red crystal. So I don't think he has the regen, but now it's going to be Stunt, who's in some danger here on the front line. Going to be taking a lot of damage. The sleep finds its way onto him, and Biofrost is looking to grab the engage. Instead, he's only going to get a whole ton of damage put down onto him. Bullet time comes through. Chaos Storm is also ticking over and over and over onto Kabe. TSM still have some decent health bars now. Stunt just getting hit by bubble after bubble after bubble. Very low now. Meteos walks into the Drake pit. Definitely not at that 3K mark, so the regeneration is not there from the Warmogs. 100 Thieves have to fall back. Ryoma's very low. Stunt already had to go back to base because he was nearly dead. TSM moving over to the Drake pit. We already had one game in this series go to 3 Drakes on either side. It ended before we got to see who got the soul, but this may very well be another game of the same caliber, Jack.
Man, it could go the distance. We talked earlier about item power spikes. Kabe had his Infinity Edge for that fight. Ryoma did not have his Ludens, and slowly TSM was able to push them back. And also, like, you know why that fight started? Someone walked in range of Stunt.
And here
we go, another one. They're in range again.
Meteos coming around over the wall, collapsing onto Kabe. He's not able to do anything. He tries to use the ulti, but it does not work. Remember, when you use Featherstorm as Xayah, you are untargetable, but effects already on you will continue to tick. Stunts ignite onto Kabe, provided the damage to kill him, even through that ulti, and it made it so the play was a success.
Whew. They get the kill, they get the turret, but also Broken Blade picks up a solo turret in the bot side, so the gold ends up staying very close. Picks like that are so crucial. The way Meteos is playing in this game speaks to his experience and why this guy just continues to win on any LCS team he is on. He's finding picks, he's staying alive, he's supporting the lanes he needs to support. That 405 mark, with soon to be his Warmogs turning on, will allow him to be even more free about where he goes, and he is just kind of a thorn in TSM's side right now in terms of his ability to find fights.
Yeah, we saw when Biofrost tried to initiate the last fight, one of the big differences between the two squads here is the survivability. As you can see, Meteos just getting hit with a whole lot, doesn't really care about it. But if TSM goes in, they have one guy who's durable, and that is Dardoch, and that's honestly only if Gargoyle Stoneplate is on. Biofrost goes in. If he doesn't find that initiation, that instant CC on the multiple people, he's dead in half a second.
So 100 Thieves have a much more forgiving way to engage because they have this team fight pasta with 3 giant meatballs just hanging out in it that are impossible to get through without significant investment.
Yeah, it's a term we haven't necessarily used that much this series, but I think it's pretty accurate. In terms of ease of execution, 100 Thieves has been picking the simpler team compositions, and TSM has been making it really hard on themselves in terms of what they need to do to win. Here we go, though. Someday just overpowering Broken Blade to get wave control. He's not going to kill him. GP's just going to be able to walk away, but it's opening up space as Someday and Meteos continue to be very strong.
I really like the itemization choice here from Someday as well. Going for the Dead Man's Plate second, making sure that he has the extra mobility to catch up to these targets on TSM that he needs to close that distance on as quickly as possible, as well as the fact that they are very heavily attack damage focused. Zoe is the 1 AP threat, and he knows that as a set, it's not Zoe's job to blow him up. Honestly, if she's spending her spells on him, it means she's not hitting Cody-san or Ryoma with them, so it's really not that bad of a deal. So I like the fact that he's teching towards this and trying to make sure that he can deal with all the damage that will most likely be hitting him. And now we'll see him just continue this push up here. Despite all of Broken Blade's solo farming time, he's still not in a condition to deal with this set.
Yeah, and this game is kind of at its breaking point. I mean, that side lane pressure created is buying a lot of space in the mid lane for 100 Thieves to try and break this turret, but here comes Dardoch.
Over the wall he goes, trying to pull off the same play Meteos did. However, the bullet time comes in, the Chaos Storm goes down, and 100 Thieves are able to repel the assault. Ryoma forced to use the cleanse there to stay alive. Flash 2 to get out of the Cataclysm that Dardoch used. Bjergsen goes forward, he tries to find even more, but he won't be able to get it. Dardoch hanging around this side with the sweeper. He will see Someday's silhouette in the brush, so he will not push further any longer. And that is the fight. It all fades away. The dust settles. Nobody's dead.
And we got to keep tracking key cooldowns, because if one team doesn't have the key cooldowns for an important fight, that could absolutely mean the game. 100 Thieves lost a little bit more than TSM in that one. Dardoch burned ult, but didn't even burn his flash. So if Biofrost sees an angle and can actually get onto Ryoma, who is cleanseless and flashless, just having that stopwatch as his sole means of survival, that could be TSM's way to try and slingshot. If someone wins a big fight here, not only would it be one off of Soul Point, it would likely be Baron as well. So TSM has early setup on this next Cloud Drake, and it's going to be really difficult for 100 Thieves to move in and contest.
Someday pushing up the bottom side. Bjergsen continuing to fish for damage with these Paddle Stars and Sleepy Trouble Bubbles. Gravity Well will control the mid lane wave as Stunt finds a dredge line down onto Dardoch, but he's going to eat 75% of his HP in the meantime. But now Meteos coming in from the flank. Ryoma walks forward, but Ryoma goes way too far. He's going to be stuck out. The Chaos Storm is down. Into the stasis he goes, but surely he's going to be exploded right here, right now. The bullet time goes through, but it will not find the target. Dardoch now stunned up, but Kabe's dragged back into the team by Someday. The feathers will not be able to fly in a way that locks down anybody with the root. 100 Thieves still looking to find something. They are the only side that has lost a person so far. Someday moves forward. Dredge line is down. Kabe is out. Cody-san gets the kill. It's a shutdown onto set. The bodies are going to be dropping here on both sides. Health bars are popping. Bjergsen around from the side, looking to find even more, down to 200. Asleep onto Meteos is all he's going to get. Cody-san, with 2 buffs on him, will regenerate the health and mana that he needs to continue this fight. It's 2 alive for the side of the Thieves. It's 3 alive for TSM, including Broken Blade, who has a teleport ready to go. The Drake is alive.
Oh, man.
100 Thieves are moving towards it. There is a blue trinket ward in this hit. TSM are aware of
it's theirs.
going on. They cannot stop it, and that is Soul Point 100 Thieves.
What a nuts fight that was. It was so long. So we talked about Ryoma having no summoner spells and how he's the vulnerable person for this fight. And again, somebody was in range of stun, so he hooked. And that's how this fight starts. But Meteos and Someday are there for the flank. Notice kind of a weird ultimate to take Bjergsen out of the fight while everyone else focuses Ryoma. And it looked for a lot of this like it was just going to be TSM favored, but 100 Thieves stuck around. Cody-san actually has IE Essence Reaver, so despite that big farm discrepancy, still pretty strong. Meteos still has Warmog, so as long as he doesn't die, he's going to be able to get up to full health by the end of this one. It's actually Make It Rain, which buys just enough time for Someday to get in range of the CC and allows Cody Sun to shut down the MF. Then Bjergsen, basically hero play to kill Stunt at the end of that, but because he's so low, because Meteos still has so much health, 100 Thieves is able to pick up the Drake right after that one.
100 Thieves managing to win a fight despite Ryoma's misplay, and that was a pretty big misplay, to be quite honest. I mean, he had the blood in his eyes, he saw his opponent, he was running forward trying to get the kill onto Kabe, blow up that 80 carry that matters so much, but it just did not work out. He ends up getting punished until he has that fully completed hourglass ready. That means there's no more stasis to buy time if he gets caught out. So that's the next big purchase I'm looking at for the side of 100 Thieves. And Bjergsen just absolutely slapped him. Ryoma's got 1/3 HP. He has to go back to base. He needs to heal up. Baron is on the map. And we're going to see Dardoch initiate a little bit onto Meteos here, but he actually takes more damage than he dealt because of Cody Sun being right next to him.
And at this point, any small thing can decide the series. It is a 600 gold and one measly Cloud Drake lead for 100 Thieves right now. Yes, they are in Soul Point. Yes, they have had, throughout the year, a better late game than TSM in terms of coordination. So they are, to me, slightly favored at this point in time. But as you just saw, one Q from Bjergsen nearly killed Ryoma. Put a little bit more damage into that, and that's a kill. So one pick can decide it here. That can set up Baron. One team fight could obviously mean the whole series because death timers are long enough now at 30 minutes. And we know neither of these teams hesitate, Stunt in particular, to pull the trigger and go for a fight.
Bottom side, Meteos and Someday are looking to force a play on the Broken Blade. They aren't going to find what they're looking for. Instead, it's going to be Meteos nearly killed off. Trying to get over the wall, the Arctic Assault dodging away from Dardoch here just in time. Kabe's collapsed upon. That is 100 Thieves. Not getting the people they started for, but getting the one person on the map who probably matters the most. Bjergsen is still alive. That Zoe can still rein in the artillery fire, but taking out the enemy AD carry goes a long way.
Meteos must have so much gold right now. I feel like he's had these items for like 10 minutes. Stone Plate completed and another Ruby Crystal on the way, so maybe he's just been running around getting Warmog's regen, but again, just like a really narrow escape by Meteos that kind of baits TSM into that fight. It looked like 100 Thieves was completely outnumbered by the start of it, but they pick up another kill. They now have triple Stone Plate, so really, Kabe's died 5 times, so he's built the QSS because he feels like he needs some type of escape from either Set or Sejuani,
Yep.
But he really needs a Last Whisper if he wants to start farming up. That 60 CS advantage he had early on is effectively null because he's died 5 times, has 2 fewer kills than Cody Sun, and is only a QSS up on him in items. So 100 Thieves taking more and more control as they are 1 minute away from their Cloud Drake spawn.
TSM could stop it. We've seen it happen before. We've seen it happen in this series. Oh, man, what a tense game. This is, you can't ask for much more from a game. One of the worst feelings that I have in a series is when you watch the series and one of the earlier on games is super close, and then you get to game 5, and that's the one that's the stompiest one of the whole set. And you're just like, well, that was kind of anticlimactic. But although we've had a very close series overall, this game just feels the closest. And I think I wouldn't have it any other way in game number 5. Stunt, Cody Sun, Ryoma hanging out here in the mid lane. Someday and Meteos off in the right flank. Hextech GLP not going to find much there as Stunt's on the front line. Gargoyle Stone Plate's activated. Fight's going to be breaking out. Bullet time, not finding a whole lot of anything. Meteos and Someday coming in from the side. TSM disengaging as a unit. All 5 players working together, and now they're looking to find the damage onto Someday. Here comes your showstopper, and Biofrost is going to be deleted. Stunt very low, and Bjergsen's not able to find the damage. Chaos Storm still there on the front line. 100 Thieves, 5 alive, looking to walk over to the Drake, but they're not going to do it here.
Someday back in.
Facebreaker down onto the entire TSM line. Someday's going to be taken very low. They grab the kill into Dardoch, and that means no steal. 100 Thieves walking a razor's edge. So many low health bars, but it's 2 for 0.
so much patience in that fight from both sides. Kabe waiting for his QSS and ultimate, but TSM doesn't want to give this up. Cody dies!
Cody taking down Bjergsen, the hero of the day, right when I think it is impossible for TSM to contest the Drake.
What?
Instead, they will be the ones to take control. They won't go after it themselves. They're going to back away at the end of all of this. Nobody gets the Drake jet. It's still there.
After everything, it's a Bjergsen one-shot onto Cody's son. That is such a hero play. And also, Cody can't be the one out there. You got 3 tanks. Just someone eat the Q. Now TSM can reset. Everyone's back alive. The game fell over. The split fell over. But now TSM is looking to take this, and Meteos, he might steal. He wants
Meteos could go over the wall and try this. It could be so very close, but Dardoch decides to jump over the wall instead. The Drake is going to be secured by Kabe. Dardoch still there on the front line. Stun's going to be caught out in the middle of everybody. Chaos Storm raging on top of 3 people. It's a gravity well down, trying to protect Stun. Meteos ult not going to find that instant CC onto anybody directly, and 100 Thieves disengage.
How many 7 Drake games are we gonna get?
Oh,
Obviously
man.
not more than this, but it seems like we've had a lot. Okay, so Kabe has actually opted not for Last Whisper. I think that choice is incorrect. He's probably going for Phantom Dancer because he's tired of dying, but you really have to track that front line, and if someday Meteos or Stunt get down to 10% health or 5% health, know that a Last Whisper would actually mean they're dead. So Kabe not going to be doing the maximum amount of damage in this game because he's chosen a slightly more defensive playstyle. On this reset, 100 Thieves isn't going to give us time for analysis because they're going for this Baron.
Baron at half HP, Stunt on the front line, trying to buy time. Broken Blade, Kabe, Biofrost, Bjergsen, everybody's moving in, but Dardoch's not hanging around nearby. Meteos has the secure with the smite. Stunt's trying to tank up. He drops the ulti to disengage. 100 Thieves have to be careful. Their support is almost dead, and Dardoch's got a Cataclysm on the 2. Dardoch is down. Chaos Storm is out. TSM are 4v5. Cody, Sun, and the rest of 100 Thieves are trying to disengage as fast as possible. They have the man advantage, but health bars are low. That's Baron +1 to 100 Thieves.
What a move there by 100 Thieves to sneak that Baron after they see Dardoch on a recall, knowing that the smite won't be there to deny them. And then afterwards, Dardoch actually goes all in for a fight. That's such a risky move there for TSM because if they lose that fight, the game is actually over. So still, the game is completely on a knife's edge. Cody's son has been really fed. Meteos is playing an immaculate Sejuani game, still deathless. And now Cody's just running after Broken Blade. He gets his flash.
Pirate versus pirate combat. We know which one the tougher pirate is. It's the one in pajamas. The flash away from Broken Blade to make sure he doesn't get killed there. I mean, you get picked at this point in the game. You set your team up for an honest 4v5. You're throwing the whole series out the door. Broken Blade keeps himself alive. Meteos and Ryoma going to continue to pressure here in the mid lane. Keep your eyes on Ryoma. Remember, he's a rookie to the larger regions. He did have playtime competitively in Oceania, but that is an emerging region. In terms of playing in the larger scope of things, these main regions that automatically get their seeds into the main competition at international stages, this is Ryoma stepping up to a new level this split he has not played at before. This is the kind of person that you need to step up and stay cool and collected, not get those nerves. I want to watch his positioning as this game moves forward. It will be critical. His hourglass not quite ready for the stasis.
And just watch Cody's son. We've seen how powerful Bjergsen can be with his Zoe. Any one of those paddle stars can be the end of a squishy, whether it's Ryoma or Cody's son. So really defined frontline, backline on 100 Thieves with 3 pure tanks and 2 really high damage characters. Meanwhile, TSM is just, they have to be crisp with their initiations. They haven't been. That's why Dardoch has died 6 times. If they go for something, it might end up being right here.
It's going to be a snap from Biofrost. Meteos on the front line going to be taken very low, nearly killed off. Now Dardoch the first casualty instead. Biofrost getting himself away. Ryoma keeping alive with the stasis. Broken Blade coming back forward. Kabe with the Feather's Fly looking to find the damage onto Someday. He walks away. Cody's on the front line. No fear for this 100 Thieves AD carry. It's jungler for jungler, and that's all she wrote.
Kabe actually sold his zeal to build the Last Whisper. So someone on his team was like, yo, bro, you need armor pen. Get it. And it nearly makes the difference in that fight as he's actually able to shred through Meteos and take Someday down to about 10% health. Man, what an intense game as both junglers do finally fall. If Ryoma gets to death cap, that might be enough. But again, track summoner spells. Flashless, Victor. No Zonias on Victor. Cloud Soul fight upcoming. Biofrost and Dardoch need their ultimates in order to contest here. That was nearly that great Rakan, Jarvan, crisp initiation, but not quite everything they needed.
The last time I said
it a few times already.
The last time I said this, we didn't get it because the game ended. But this time around, Chad, someone has to claim Soul.
You'd think.
You would.
Unless it's a 5-for-0 fight and they move on, the next fight, we keep saying it, could decide the game.
Stunt, moving himself around there with the dredge line to make sure he doesn't get paddle starred after that Sleepy Trouble bubble. Well done by him. Meteos on the front line here yet again. Someday at the top of the fight there. Dredge line not going to find the mark. Someday doing a good job clearing out these barrels. The bubbles are like homing in on where Stunt is. Nice barrel coming out from Broken Blade. Dardoch now looking to start things off. Dragon's going to be slain by the side of TSM. 100 Thieves still looking to take the fight. Stunt's going to be killed off. Bjergsen down to 1/3 HP. Someday back into the pit. Meteos grab the kill on the Biofrost. 4 alive on the side of TSM. Bullet time over the wall. Kabe barely going to be kept alive. Meteos still looking to maybe find some more. It is that permanent soul buff for the side of TSM. 100 Thieves need to find something to take in retaliation for this, but TSM will not let them have it. They will walk themselves back to the base as a group. There is no Baron on the map for 1 minute, and that's a win for TSM.
Of course this is game 5. I mean, watch this fight one more time. The barrel from around the corner, Broken Blade sets it up. The hook misses. It's just sitting there. It's broken. How did he land this barrel, this damage that came out from Broken Blade? Because they get the sleep. One barrel, boom. Basically, before you could see it, gets a bunch of damage down onto the backline. And while this distraction is happening, Kabe's just shredding the Drake. So this time, it's actually TSM that focus it. Meanwhile, if anyone wipes in this fight, the game is completely over. But because of the barrel and the initiation, Ryoma is pushed out the back of the fight. Someday, trapped in the back of the pit, needs to flash away. And the bullet time very nearly wipes TSM off the map. Middle inhibitor turret still down. Yes, the Cloud Soul is in tow. That's a big advantage. We got a double IE GP who at this point has finally found his way into the game after it felt like so much of the first 20 minutes was played 4v5. And Meteos, he's in there.
It's Chad Gangplank. He just builds maximum damage from maximum barrels. That's why it chunked as hard as it did. Meteos eats some more damage from Bjergsen over the wall. Oh, Bjergsen Zoe is so scary this game. Those constant bubbles, all that poke before these fights has been what's keeping TSM alive here. That combined with Kabe's presence in team fights, his ability to lay down the DPS. Biofrost, Kabe, everybody from TSM, they're grouped up as 5. Meteos around from behind them, could come in on the flank. Someday on the front line, tanking things up. Gargoyle's Stone Plate has been used. He will not have that extra tool. Biofrost will run into Meteos as they try to exit towards the Baron pit. TSM grouped up with control over the mid lane. They have priority here. Someday at 3/4 HP. Meteos lands a slow onto Biofrost. Biofrost pops the quickness, but he's going to be contained. Ryoma goes into the stasis, keeping himself alive. A lot of damage coming down. Broken Blade going to be killed. Chaos Storm raging into the TSM health bars. Someday's going to be tanking 4 people alive now as TSM's looking to find the damage back against 100 Thieves. Kabe's not going to be stopped. Someday's looking to kill him, but he can't quite do it. TSM will take this team fight. Meteos is double killed by Bjergsen. And Jack, that is the fight.
Oh my god, it looked so dangerous. TSM moved into that funnel where the bullet time nearly shredded them completely death, but it wasn't quite enough. And now, look at these death timers, 40 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds. It might be the game. Cody Sun's got to find a way to kill these minions.
Cody Sun, with no bullet time, stands 1v4. It is 10 seconds on Stunt. It is 14 on Ryoma.
I think that's it.
Cody has to pull off some kind of a miracle here. He brings down the Make It Rain, firing off a little bit of damage here. Bjergsen will look to do whatever we can to put the damage into Cody's health bar. Biofrost going in, damage going down. On the next is bullet time, going out, damage going through. Kabe's healing.
Oh my god!
Down.
Oh my goodness, Björk!